What's up, guys? Red Dragons here, and today we are doing the third episode of my one vehicle series. This one is on choppers, and because I'm such a noob at choppers, I've got the master chopper pilot here, Aethyal.
Level cap? Oh. It's just me.
Yeah.
What's up?
So yeah, we're playing on what map is this? I don't know what it is.
Sharky Peninsula is my favorite map.
Yeah, it's really good.
Back to cartoon.
And I was kind of laughing at the beginning here where we had a little problem with the guy who refused to get out of a chopper, but we finally team killed him enough and got in.
Oh, we were playing like such terrible people.
Yeah.
It
But
was fun though.
the reason I wanted to bring you in on this is because I really like the way you fly. Most people, like, instead of circle strafing and really getting into a big disaster where you get a couple kills and then die, this is what I think the best way to use a chopper is. You go, you take your shots, and then you duck down. And you're using the ECM jammer, correct?
Yeah.
And I was using flares, so whenever someone would start locking on, you use the jammer, and if somebody continued to lock on, I could just use the flares. And except for a couple times where we got taken down by an enemy chopper, I don't think a SOFLAM or anything else took us down the whole game.
Yeah, I think there's even a part in here where we find a SOFLAM user and take them out before we get shot down.
Mm-hmm. So what do you?
It's pretty effective.
What do you kind of like to do when you're flying?
Primarily, I play pretty defensively. Like, even right now, you can see I'm basically running away. I spend a lot of time running away and use the terrain for cover. Try to stay behind buildings, go to the far side of the map and use hills and things like that to try to break line of sight. The fewer times you have to use your tools, your defensive tools, means that they're going to be available in that actual emergency. So I think that's why maybe I last a little bit longer in the choppers than some average players, is that I play a little bit more defensively, and I can't recommend playing that way enough to people, especially if you're just starting out and trying to learn. Don't be too aggressive, because you get taken out so quickly in this game.
Absolutely, and that's my problem. I find a tank and I just beeline him for that tank. Meanwhile, he's shooting me with every gun he has.
Right. You see, a lot of times I actually like to kind of creep along behind the terrain, and I'll sort of turn and then just pop up over the horizon right behind a tank or whatever it is that I'm trying to take out. Yeah,
and that's really effective. Like right now, we're dipping down, and you'll kind of hear in the audio that we continue to be locked on by SOFLAM or whoever's trying to lock onto us. And I see lock there's flashing.
Yeah, I think we're actually looking for him right now. Like, I keep kind of popping up over the terrain to try to see if we can spot him on the rooftop.
Mm-hmm. We're having troubles with the enemy chopper. I believe maybe that's capped right now and he can't spawn. But you'll see later on how we kind of use a very excellent maneuver.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm actually excited for that part.
Yeah, but this is one thing that I really wanted to show people is to not get into those engagements where you have to use all your defensive countermeasures and then you're still running away after they've been used. You know, as soon as you start to get locked on, just find terrain or a building to duck down behind, and then pop up, and then eventually you'll see coming up that we find this guy with the SOFLAM and take him down.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, before you even worry about enemy encounters, to learn how to control the helicopters if you're going to try to pilot. And I stress that people go onto an empty server and practice flying. Do crazy stuff that you would never try to do in a game, like fly under bridges or overpasses, or weave in and out of buildings, or see how close you can get to the ground before you crash. That way, when you get into that situation later, you have the tools at hand and the experience to pull off some ridiculous moves where you can get away from people. And that all comes back to playing defensively, like I said before. I think it's really important to play defensively in the helicopters. And now that jets, the miniguns, do so much damage to the helicopters, if you're not, you have to always be moving. If you're not moving in a helicopter, you're probably going to be dead.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And as we see here, we're kind of, we switched the clips, and now we're immediately, as soon as we took off, there's a chopper kind of spawn trapping us for a while there. And we got away from him after taking a couple shots, and like a dumbass, he didn't follow us. But we popped up, saw him use his ECM jammer there, and now you're above him, locking on, and it's easy.
Lights out. Yeah, that is. It was tough to get away from him. I think we got killed a few times, and then here's the big fail.
Oh, you just caught that.
I was doing a little bit too much celebrating that we had got away from that helicopter, because like you said, he was kind of spawn trapping us and we couldn't take off. And once we finally got him down, I was so happy about it. I got a little too cocky and ran into that pole there.
And this is something I run into a lot, having the two choppers far enough away that they can't get good shots, but you're both weaving back and forth, and it's either going to be luck. And this is something I really liked. I should actually put the live comm over this, because you actually said, like, okay, screw it, like, let's get closer. Because I'm getting the hits, but it's just not doing enough.
It's something that I actually practiced on an empty server. Like I said before, I wanted to figure out how to be able to go fast, and this is how you do it. Exactly what the camera you're seeing right now is: you dip towards the ground, kind of sideways, and as soon as you start picking up speed, you just pull the nose up forward, and you'll go so quick that we managed to evade pretty much all of his shots at us while we get behind him. I think it disoriented him just enough that we managed to get up there and get him out. And that's pretty risky. I don't think that you're going to get that kill 90% of the time, but it sure beats taking, little chip shots at each other from 500 meters away.
Absolutely.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah, like if he would have connected with a couple of rockets, we maybe would have been in trouble, but like you said, you're moving so fast that we were able to get right underneath him, and then he was backing up, and I just had one straight volley into him. So it was pretty easy.
And this right here, we got kind of lucky right there. I thought for sure we were going to get taken out, but I felt like you were doing a really good job. And that's another thing: a good pilot is only as good as his gunner, in my opinion, because you can only do so much with rockets and lock-on missiles, because there's so many tools to defend yourself if you're in a jet or a tank or whatever. But if you have a really good gunner with you, it makes a world of difference, because they could spot for you, tell you where enemies are at. Like right now, I think you were the one that said, hey, look, there's the SOFLAM. And it makes it so much easier to be that much better of a pilot, I think. Yeah,
for sure. No, that was excellent. I really wanted to show this, and then we kind of get taken out here at the end. But
I get shot out of the helicopter, and I'm screaming at you right now over Skype to take the pilot seat.
But yeah, so that's pretty much how I think choppers should be played. And I don't know, do you have any other tips for the people maybe starting out, or people who have tried their hand?
Just practice on an empty server. And if you're having trouble getting points in the choppers to unlock things, get into one really quick and just go land it on a flag in Conquest, because those capture points actually go towards your piloting skills, or your piloting points if you're sitting in the pilot seat.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then you can start unlocking the higher things. So, no, thanks again for coming on. It was a good way to show people how to fly without me having to learn how to fly. So, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon.